Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen Alpha 3.9 has been added to the Persistent Universe roadmap. This update is planned for the end of March 2020 and contains a large amount of new content, which we will go through in this video. So what's in Alpha 3.9? Crusader! Yes, we have had a placeholder non-visitable version of Crusader since the release of the Persistent Universe, but this is actually something more tangible with appropriate gas tech, points of interest, and a landing zone. The moons of Crusader and the stations around the planet already exist in game, but they are most likely going to get some improvements and updates. The area around Crusader will get missions added to it, that sort of stuff. Stanton 2 is Crusader, a low-mass gas giant that has an atmosphere which is breathable at high altitudes. Taking advantage of this, the planet has become home to a military-constructed latticework of inhabitable floating platforms. The platforms proved to be ideal for Crusader, since normally their large-scale commercial transport ships would otherwise need to be built at great cost in space. Once Crusader Industries purchased the planet from the UEE, these platforms were further expanded upon to suit their production needs and are now used to build massive ships like the Starfarer, Starlifter, and Starrunner. There are some basic expectations of some good-looking gas cloud tech, pockets of interest in Crusader, potentially missions, damaged ships, pirates, sort of like little events and things going on there, missions hooked up so that you can go slightly deeper into the sort of like gassy area around the gas giant. So it's not just going to be, there's nothing to visit there, nothing to do, there will be points of interest. This is also going to come with the Orison landing zone, with a webbing of eerily beautiful shipyards constructing Crusader ships suspended in mid-atmosphere. Orison is considered by many to be the most picturesque port in the Stanton system. As the main landing zone on Crusader, in addition to the shipyards, its latticework of platforms houses the company's headquarters and employee habitation area. Beyond Crusader's commercial needs, many tourists visit the world, often brought there by Crusader's own Genesis Starliners, looking to experience the stunning vistas offered by Orison's verdant gardens and the gas giant's clouds below. They are implementing a couple of mission givers as well, Devin Batista and Lisa Gibbs. These characters are liaison officers working at Crusader Security's Community Outreach Office at Orison. So you're likely going to be able to get your Crusader Security sort of like themed and reputation-based missions from these guys and around the Crusader area. They're also adding cargo space stations, occupied and unoccupied versions, positioned close to planets and jump points. These depots are the first port of call for haulers and cargo ships. They can be used to create trade routes and delivery points around the universe, typically found in less travelled locations. The unoccupied variants have limited or no facilities, including derelicts, but not necessarily just empty. Stations can be permanently closed by owners, or they might be automated. Microtech and New Babbage is planned for 3.8, so the patch before 3.9, but a version 2 of that New Babbage landing zone is planned for 3.9. Enclosed to protect the inhabitants against freezing elements, New Babbage is a major social and economic trading hub on planet Microtech. Although it features Microtech's flagship store, the landing zone is also a haven to a load of smaller tech companies too. Some new items and ships coming in that patch. Ships-wise, we have the Drake Vulture light salvage vehicle, and there's a return of the RSI Constellation Taurus to the roadmap here as well. There are some new FPS weapons, the Gemini C-54 ballistic SMG, the Bearing P6LR ballistic sniper rifle, and the Lightning Co. Uberev Electron pistol. Looking at some of the core tech for the patch, weapon and item customization for manipulation of handheld items and attachments and their sub-items. This feature will add the ability for players to customize some weapons and items while in inspect mode, so you'll be able to put attachments on, components, subcomponents into items on ships. For example, adding or removing silencer, changing of scope of a gun, or changing batteries in a radio. Door system improvements are also in updating the existing door system and adding new functionalities in conjunction with object container streaming and improving synchronization across clients. So they're adding new functionalities for animation, audio, VFX to improve the look and feel of doors and anything that is similar to a door. Server to client networking rework has also now been moved here. Improvements to the downstream part of the actor networking responsible for communicating actor state from the server down to the clients. This will improve the positioning and movement of players and NPCs on your client, with improved dead reckoning, helping to reduce perceived lag and instances of rubber banding. This is so essential, and obviously it is a prerequisite for getting things like full persistence in and server meshing in, and a lot of the server-based improvements. For AI, there are a lot of final touches and finishing off of FPS and flight combat AI. These two features, appropriately called Flight AI Improvements and Polishing and FPS Combat Improvements and Polishing, add a few things to the game. This is a polishing pass containing final work on behaviors and balancing, as well as bug fixing. The goal is to improve the look and feel of flight combat and character combat for the release of Squadron 42, but also they do desperately want to get that in as soon as possible to have a very stable core of the game for the persistent universe. Some gameplay features as well now. Dynamic mission system, mission generation along quantum travel routes. So the dynamic mission system will allow for the real-time customization of mission content, dynamically based on what the economy is doing, what other missions are doing, what's happening in your area. This all feeds through and affects your mission. This will include the ability to vary where missions are offered, in what quantity, and what rewards will be given. It will also allow mission templates to be injected with environmental information at runtime, enabling the creation of content that's both more diverse and more accurately represents the simulated universe at that moment in time. Further to the economy and the economy balance, they are putting in commodity transfer timers. The automatic loading and unloading of cargo will require time to complete, with the duration dependent upon the location, the current level for demand of such services, whether an additional fee to expedite the process has been paid, and the quantity of materials being transferred. Ships will be unavailable until such processes have been completed. I was recently talking to some people about what would players do if they have zero money and their ship has been destroyed and they don't have the money to reclaim it, they didn't have any insurance or something like that. And the potential is that you might be given some missions to move cargo off people's ships, or to clean, or to sort of change out stock in vending machines, things like that, that could give you a little bit of money so that you could get back in the Aurora or something like that. Because it will happen to some players, given the amount of players that will be probably playing the game. It's just an interesting one, having people sort of act as NPCs and add flavour to the universe, where you'll look at someone and go, hang on, is that a player? Is that a player rather than an NPC? Cool stuff like that might be making its way into the game in the future. There's also plans for an accounting app in 3.9 that displays a variety of information about a player's active financial commitments, including recurring rentals, insurance, organisation membership fees, and the associated benefits. It also allows for such commitments to be extended or cancelled. Now, I doubt this is referring to sort of like organisation tax from player side, although actually it might, but it's probably more the guild system as well. They're supposed to be NPC run, so like services, the bounty hunters guild, stuff like that, that you might have to pay memberships to as well. Economy display terminals. These are billboards, displays, consoles that allow for real-time display of economic information, including commodity prices, available missions and payments, retail sale events, area threat levels, all that sort of interesting economy and system-based news. Very much looking forward to those. Seated item handling has been moved down to 3.9. This feature will add the ability for players and NPCs to use smaller weapons while seated in the passenger seat of a vehicle or ship. There's some multi-crew stuff as well. They've expanded turret gunner roles, so turret gunners will be able to receive specific target designations from other players and track them independently of their own targets, which will obviously make multi-crew and general turrets a lot better when you can actually receive orders on the fly quite easily. A couple of those features were delayed from 3.7 and 3.8, so that's cargo depot space stations and the seated item handling were moved down from 3.8 to 3.9, and server to client actor networking rework was moved from 3.7 to this patch as well. Cloud Imperium's community manager Xylo also put out a statement in regard to Crusader and Orison coming in 3.9 and the patch's new content. We felt good enough with what we laid out to publish in the roadmap today, but We're also currently in the middle of evaluating some of our major technical hurdles that we are tackling. So it's possible there's some additional shifting and changes to the roadmap in the next few weeks. Obviously, this is always the case as a potential, but I still wanted to call it out because of some of the planning work taking place. I'll keep you all in the loop. So, with the inclusion of Orison and Crusader in 3.9, that will be all of the major astral bodies completed in the Stanton system. We will see other additions to the system in the future with the Aaron Halo, points of interest, general improvements to tech, stations, missions, as well as more updates to the various landing zones, opening them up more, adding the Hope Hospital to Lawville, things like that. Server-side object container streaming and full persistence, which doesn't currently appear on the roadmap, is being worked on, and there's a concerted effort to get as much of it as they can into 2019. And they are putting out associated sort of like supporting modules for it on the roadmap. We know that they want to get these in as soon as possible, and they could appear on the roadmap in the near future once they know where they will land. So, I mean, it could be a 3.8, 3.9, whatever, but we will find out soon enough. I'll get other updates to the roadmap for 2019, so 3.6 to 3.8, up in my weekly news, along with other recent project updates, including some of the Squadron 42 stuff, because there were more changes on the roadmap, but for the earlier patches. You can follow along weekly with those changes to the roadmap in those videos too. Are you excited about any of the additions to 3.9? Getting Stanton potentially close to finished, that sort of stuff? Do you think a lot will slip? Do you think a lot will be moved to 3.9? Do you think more will be pushed further beyond 3.9? What will be after 3.9? Will it be 4.0? I mean, the patch numbering is pretty meaningless now. They are just planning to indefinitely release a major patch every 3 months or thereabouts. Obviously, with 3.5 at the moment, they are a week or so behind schedule with getting that patch out to live, but it is available to everyone on the PTU anyway. But anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below. Every month, we have a giveaway for a Star Citizen ship. For April 2019, we are giving away a Drake Corsair with lifetime insurance. It's the new concept ship focused on exploration, and the loaner for that ship is currently the Constellation Aquila and the Buccaneer. To be in for a chance of winning, be subscribed to my channel and comment on any video that I put out during April. Full details in the description below. Need a PC or upgrade to play Star Citizen? Consider Shadow. Shadow is a cloud-based subscription alternative to a gaming PC, and it works with Star Citizen Alpha 3.5 better than it ever has. It leverages the power of the internet to give you a Windows 10 gaming environment, potentially anywhere. Check out the links below or go to shadow.tech for more information. Use the code BoredGamer to receive a discount on your subscription if you do decide to try it. I'm not sponsored or paid by Cloud Imperium in any way. This is a Star Citizen news and fan channel that is supported by you, the community. Patrons, donations, subscriber stars, YouTube members, that little join button underneath my videos, all help support the channel and allow me to create regular video content, maintain a website, upload podcasts, and more. If you wish to go that extra mile, it is amazingly helpful. There is occasional exclusive content for those that do as well.